Hello, this is Lucas Roebuck, Public Affairs Officer for HucksArmy.com. Today we're going to answer the question, can Governor Mike Huckabee win the GOP nomination? A HucksArmy.com reality check. Well, some people answer that question no. They think the governor has no chance of becoming the GOP nominee. They've gone as far as saying it's mathematically impossible. Let's look at what some of those people had to say. It would be impossible for Huckabee to win the nomination. This from Karl Rove, Fox News contributor, and a maxed out financial supporter of John McCain. Maybe someone else. As for Huckabee's future prospects, he doesn't have a shot at the nomination. Dan Barnett, The Weekly Standard. And even on the blogs, Huckabee would have to win an astronomical percentage of the delegates at stake in the remaining primaries, making his task virtually impossible. Brian Fisher, RenewAmerica.com. Well, maybe these guys need to look up impossible, astronomical, and shot in the dictionary. We here at HucksArmy.com don't think that those guys really know what those words mean. So, while they're looking those words up, let's go ahead and check their math. We can start with some simple addition. Currently, there are 1,138 unawarded delegates. Mike Huckabee has won 217. Senator John McCain, the frontrunner, has won 723. Other candidates have won 302. And finally, those all add up to the total of 2,380, the complete number of delegates available to be won for the National Convention. Now, let's do some subtraction. So the magic number is 1,191, which is 50% of the total delegates plus 1. That's what you need to clinch the nomination without having to have a floor fight at the convention or a brokered convention. So far McCain has 723, so you do some subtraction, 1191 in my head minus 723. Oh, that's going to be 468. Which, if you do some division in there, will be 42% of the remaining delegates McCain has to win in order to clinch. Mike Huckabee, same magic number. He just hasn't racked up so many delegates so far, 217. So he'll need to pick up another 974 if he wants to clinch and win the election outright for the GOP nod. Now, that's about 85% of the remaining delegates, a somewhat more daunting task than McCain faces. Now, we've done some math here at HucksArmies.com. We actually show there are two paths for Mike Huckabee to win the nomination. Neither of them are impossible, and even as we saw the math just previously, we see that it is not astronomical or impossible, but it is very possible that Mike Huckabee could do those things. So let's look at the two paths. The first one, which is more probable, is that he needs to win enough delegates to force a brokered convention, and then at the convention win the balloting between the delegates. So we'll talk about what a brokered convention means in a second. The second option, of course, is to win the big enchilada, get all 1,119 delegates, and clinch that. We don't believe it's outside the realm of possibility, but again, that's going to take some work. We'll talk about that too. So start with Path A to victory. Win enough delegates to force a brokered convention. So if Governor Huckabee and other candidates could win 671 of the 1,138 delegates remaining, that means he would deny McCain the 468 delegates that McCain needs to clinch the nomination. Now keep in mind that it's not just Governor Huckabee alone has to win those 671. Let's say Governor Huckabee wins 600 and Ron Paul wins 71. It doesn't matter. McCain, no matter who wins those 671, if 671 delegates are won by other people besides McCain, McCain will not win the nomination in advance of the primary, and he'll have to take it to the floor for a floor fight for delegates. So what does that look like visually? So here we go. McCain would have to win 41%. If McCain wins only 41% of the remaining vote, he is going to go to convention. And Huckabee and other candidates will have to win 59% of the remaining vote to force a brokered convention. Once it's a brokered convention, the selection of the nominee goes to the floor. Remember, if no one wins outright, if no one has a majority, 50% plus 1, going into the convention, then many delegates, according to their state rules, will be released to vote for whomever they please. It's our understanding that Michigan, which Mitt Romney had won, has already said that they're going to release those delegates to vote for whomever they please. The last time the GOP had a brokered convention was in 1976. In this case, the incumbent President Ford and Ronald Reagan had a floor fight, which went on for a little while over those delegates. Ford eventually won that race, but Reagan came back in 1980, and the rest is history. No matter what the pundits say, they are not going to be able to predict what's going to happen at the convention. The rules are crazy. There's all kinds of things that can go on, all kinds of deals, all kinds of negotiations, all kinds of persuasions that can go on. In other words, anything is possible at a brokered convention. Once the delegates get released and it's time for persuasion to go on, then anything can happen. We here at HucksArmy.com think that if it goes to a brokered convention, Mike Huckabee will have an excellent chance of winning. Why? Well, first of all, he certainly is the best GOP communicator since Ronald Reagan. He goes above and beyond as a communicator any of the other GOP candidates, including John McCain. Second, we think that Mike Huckabee is the most conservative candidate still in the race. Because of that, we believe the conservatives at the convention will gravitate to him. And we all know there are a lot of conservatives in the grand old party. There is another path to victory. Again, like we said before, he can win enough delegates to claim the nomination outright. Now, Governor Huckabee would have to win about 974 of the remaining 1,138 delegates. Okay, that's going to be hard, but it's still mathematically possible. Sorry, Rove, etc., and the rest of you guys. You just need to go back to school and work on that math, and then you'll find out what impossible and impossible are. At any rate, it is going to be hard. But as Governor Huckabee says, miracles can happen. He believes in miracles. And, those of us at HucksArmy.com, we believe in miracles too. But we also know that a little hard work helps too. And the 18,000 plus volunteers at HucksArmy.com are committed to helping Huckabee become the 44th President of America. We're ready to email, phone calls, door-to-door, put signs up, whatever we have to do to make the thing happen. We're going to do it. We're volunteering, and we're more excited than ever to help Huckabee win. So we thank you for listening to this presentation. We hope now that you understand the reality check. Know that Mike Huckabee does have a great chance of becoming the next Republican nominee. Please visit us at HucksArmies.com. Just a note about Hucks Army. We are an online grassroots movement not owned or operated by any candidate or political campaign. With more than 18,000 recruits, HucksArmies.com is dedicated to mobilizing support for candidates who honor God and country. Again, this is Lucas Roebuck, and we'll see you online.